Yes, good morning, viewers. Good morning, my fans, and also those that have been listening to me while I was still doing analysis at the Flip TV with the program term The Pundit. As it stands now, I'll be working with a TV station called Waka Waka TV, whereby we're going to be looking at different issues both in Nigeria and also internationally. For today, we'll be concentrating on some of the headlines, especially from two major newspapers, the Punch newspaper and probably, if time permits, the Vanguard. We promise to make this as simple as possible and as brief as we can. I thank you all for your support in different dimensions, how you've helped us, how you've encouraged us, both our fans in diaspora and those within Nigeria. I'll try as much as possible to be fair to the government and also to the Nigerian people. And also, what are the expectations of Nigerians in the coming election, as well as the current state of the Nigerian people educationally, culturally, economically, because I have to be fair, there is poverty in the land. So, having considered some of these factors, in the next batch of interview I'll be doing, we'll be looking at the 2023 presidential election. That video will be uploaded in the next 6 hours after, probably 12 hours after this very video. We're looking at the 2023 election, the issues on ground, ethnic alignment, who deserve the presidency in the next election, which ethnic group have really been marginalized from 1960 till 2023. By God's grace, will be in 2023 in about a year's time. And we've operated nothing less than 63 years of democracy. So we'll be looking at some of those issues in the next video, while we'll also be looking at the current prices of food items in the market. I remain Effiong Samuel. You can follow me on the YouTube channel called Waka Waka TV and on my Facebook channel, Sam Satensis Effiong. We'll be opening a new channel anytime from now, which we're going to use also for the Facebook Waka Waka TV on Facebook and also on Instagram. But for today, let's look at some of the issues that are trending on the headline. Number one, on Punch newspaper, there's an headline that says Senate bows to Buhari includes consensus for party primaries. Now there have been this debate on signing the Electoral Act into law and making it a law, the Electoral Bill into law. And some people have been asking questions. As a nation, should we go for direct primaries? Should we go for indirect primaries? Should we go for consensus candidates? But these issues have caused so many bickering in the polity. Politicians know the reason why they don't want to allow direct primary. Although direct primary also have its own advantages and disadvantages. But looking at the kind of situation we are as a people, no matter the disadvantages of direct primary, personally, I feel direct primary would give access to many people who don't have the financial muscle to wrestle power using the indirect means of campaign or election in party primaries. Although we also have the demerits of direct primaries, whereby some people can just line up some people in a line, take pictures and send to INEC or present those pictures in court. Oh, they stood for me. So, in as much as we have the disadvantages, I think the governors majorly are scared that if direct primary work in this part of the world, many of them will be stripped away from their power. Many of them will be irrelevant. Aside the fact that some other persons probably might not even be the governor can hijack the system, which is true. And understand that point of agitation by those who canvass that direct primary might not be able to work, considering the kind of politics of power and money that we play. Moving away from that, the presidency to me seems not really sincere in terms of signing most bills, not about just this. Although from his excuses, which look logical, but on the other hand, it looks more political than logical, because it simply means there's always room for the politician to maneuver the system. If some people believe in direct primary, they should go for it. If some people don't believe in direct primary, they should go for indirect primary. Definitely, the system will highly be monetized. Then, if some people still believe for consensorship, which in most times consensorship in this part of the world is always used because people are being forced to accept those they really do not agree on the basis of consensorship. But whichever way, it is the people that will suffer. Let us create a system whereby we can elect leaders that can represent the people, and the interest of the people is what is paramount. Moving away from that, there is another headline on the Punch newspaper which says 1,400 people killed by security forces in Southeast. Now, if you look at that number, nobody, including people who are privileged to be in the security arm of either the military, either Navy, Air Force, or Army, the police, NSCDC, Custom, we name them. For a number of this, it's not chicken. We're talking about human lives. So have been recorded that have been killed by security forces. It simply means there is need for re-engagement. That the country is sitting on the keg of bomb. Because it will get to a stage where you push the people to, they will have no other means than to revolt back. And that would be very dangerous precedent. Because we've seen some countries of the world when the government who owns the arm have been using the arm against the people will have no choice than to revolt against the government. So the government apparatus and those in government should look at this figure. Some people might have been innocent, which I definitely know how our security apparatus work in this part of the country. They should compensate those involved. And thank God for the judgment of the court in Abuja. In respect to Nnamdi Kanu, there was a violation of right extremely. I'm not here to debate about Nnamdi Kanu as it stands because I'm going to do an exclusive video on Nnamdi Kanu where he probably might have gone wrong, but the genesis of his wrongdoing was as a result of the governmental irresponsibilities in handling key national issues, because in places whereby there should have been engagement, there was none. And as human, everybody is looking for a way to survive. We're all looking for a way to make our agitations known to the government. So on a different video, I'll analyze both international best practices cut across countries of the world where such agitations have rightly been handled, settled, and such nations are living happily as a people. We'll be looking at that in our commentary series, whereby we'll be looking at international law, we'll be looking at comparative federalism cut across different countries of the world that have also had similar agitations. And now the people, the governmental sincerity of those in government was able to quench such agitation, and those people were integrated back to the society, and those countries are living peacefully. Nigeria is not the only country in the world, and I keep saying that because there are countries that are worse than Nigeria, and there are countries that previously, before now, have worse indices than Nigeria, but we are able to analyze, we are able to have truthful leadership who handles this and settled those inequalities, and the country is a unified nation. Let's move to another headline. Federal government to establish 18 modular refineries in oil producing states. Well, if my sense of memory serves me right, in looking at this current administration, when it was about coming to power in 2014, I remembered vividly well, and most of the TV stations in Nigeria covered most of their election manifestos, and even the ones they wrote that was what is in printable forms. They said they would do modular refinery. They even gave dates whereby electricity will be stable 6 months. But what do we have? As I speak now, there is no light in this country. I live in a residence whereby in the last couple of about 6 months, We only have light like maybe once in a month. So that is the country we find ourselves. This government is one of the most hypocritical in human nature I've ever seen or read about from 1960 till date. Why saying you're going to establish 18 modular refineries when you have barely a year and about 2 months to the general election? So what happened to the promises you made in 2014 to 2019? And this is 2021. This is not even 2020, this is 2022. January. If my memory is right, today is 20th of January 2022. So why come up with this hypocritical stand? Should we take these people serious? Are these the kind of people we're going to have in governance? And this same party is coming up with a different set of lies and hypocrisy, with so many of their candidates having blemish. Well, I reserve my comment. The Nigerian people will be the one to decide. Come 2023, time shall tell. But I don't really think this government should be taken serious from this video, because it is hypocritical. It shows their ineffectiveness, double standard in virtually everything they've said. It shows how deceptive they can be. In fact, for a government that will say, oh, if you come to APC, all your sins are forgiven, it shows that they are not serious. It shows they are a bunch of looters who are hell-bent in stealing, killing, and destruction of life and properties. And people should open their eyes clearly, because from the candidates that are coming up, their profile are really horrible. Most of the candidates, about 90% of them, have a very bad cut across party lines, because some people say, oh, you are castigating APC as because you are PDP. As if you look at it critically, is it not a man that leaves the PDP that tomorrow will go back to the APC? So is there really much difference if we're looking about the APC and the PDP? But another question that makes it very difficult for youth to answer: can a third force, a youth party, really have the financial muscle, the grassroots support, the structures to campaign in this kind of monetized system in the 36 state of the federation, the 776 local government? That's another question we need to ask ourselves in all sincerity. We are in a fix, we are in a dilemma. Maybe God will help us. I think only God is the best solution, because when I discuss with most of the young parties, they don't have the money. They don't. They can't campaign. We play money back policies. Do we have the security? Because security itself is highly monetized. Do you know what it costs to get mobile policemen to move around if you're a contestant for any position in Nigeria? Do you know what it costs to mobilize? You need thugs, you need boys. So we're in a dilemma. And I think in the next video, in a couple of days I'm going to upload, you'll be seeing a comprehensive analysis of a breakdown of how the youth should galvanize and create a new shift in terms of party alignment. Last and not the least is the headlines that really caught my fancy. My people, women groups back Osinbajo, 6 Buhari support. The irony is the same group, directly or indirectly, might still go back and back Bat, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In subsequent video, we'll be analyzing the candidacy of Southwest. Is it a game of betrayal, just like what happened to Obafemi Awolowo and MKO Abiola? That when the region have a popular candidate, the betrayal of the region over time has always made history to repeat itself. Going by history, in 1999, the region supported Olufalaye. The rest is history. But all the people they've always supported, or probably that have names within the region, never made it to the villa. Is it as a cause of Afonja? Or there is a cultural belief, or the personalities of some of these people have also played a politics of uncommon betrayal within their own region, within the South? That would be a question for another day. We're going to do an holistic analysis of the Southwest personalities and the South generally. We've seen Odiyo Uzokalo have declared. Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State have declared. We've seen Dele Momodu have declared. We'll be doing a holistic analysis of each of these contenders. We will go back and check their history. Some of them have, maybe one or two of them have said they don't believe in one Nigeria. If truly you never believed in one Nigeria, so why do you want to be a president of the country you never believed in? What changed? Some of those people come back to campaign in the places and in the region where they have kept quiet and there was massive killing. We will come back to that. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it, and like our page. We're trying to build the YouTube channel so that we'll have more reportage of journalism, not just the mainstream media who have been strictly politicized and strictly monetized by some certain element in government. I remain your host for this program, Morning View with Samuel Effium. Thank you, and I love you all. See you tomorrow morning.